Hello everyone. So today let's solve this merge two sorted lists Leetcode question. So this is tagged as easy. So let's see how we can solve this problem. Let's read the problem description first. So here they say you are given the heads of two sorted linked lists, list 1 and list 2. Merge the two lists into one sorted list. So the list should be made by splicing together the nodes of the first two lists. Return the head of the merged linked list. So what basically they're asking us to do is, so they have given two linked lists to us. So these two linked lists are sorted individually, right? You see the first linked list, it is sorted 1 to 4. The second linked list is also sorted 1, 3, 4. So what we need to do is we need to combine or we need to merge these two lists together in such a way that the resulting linked list that you get should also be in sorted order, right? So here you see we have this resultant linked list which is sorted in ascending order, right? So you have 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. This is sorted. Note that we should also take the duplicate numbers into consideration. So the first linked list is also having number 1 and the second linked list is also having number 1. So your resulting linked list should also have both these numbers 1 and 1. So we should also account for the duplicate numbers here. So the problem description is pretty straightforward. Let's see how we can solve this. So before diving into the coding, let's take a look at the intuition first. So I have this example here. So consider this first linked list which is 1, 5, 7, and there is this second linked list which is 2, 4, and 8. So now how are we going to solve this? So the idea is very easy. We should just have two pointers here that will move these or that will traverse these linked lists. So what I mean by that is, so initially we'll be having a pointer here, let's say that is A, and we'll be having a pointer B, let's say which is B here. Okay. So now both these pointers are pointing to the head of the linked list. So when I say head of the linked list, it is the first element. So here 1 is the head of linked list 1 and 2 is the head of linked list 2. So initially we will be at the head of both these linked lists. So what we are going to do here, we are going to check the value of these two linked lists first. So how do you check the value of the linked lists? So if you look at this definition of singly linked list here, there is this instance variable which is called as val. And if you want to get the value, you just need to call this val value, right? You just need to, get the value by calling this attribute over here. That's it. That's pretty straightforward. So what we're going to do is we'll be having A and we're having B. First, what we do, we check A dot val and we check B dot val first, right? So we have A dot val and we have B dot val. Now, if A dot val is less than B dot val, then this guy should come first, right? That's pretty straightforward. So this is our first condition here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna check A dot val is less than B dot val, right? So if this condition becomes true, then A should be first and B should be next. That is for sure. So this is your first condition. So now how are we going to construct our linked list by validating these conditions? So what we will do is we'll be having a list node and we'll call it as prev. Okay, something like this. And you can put any value you want here. So why do we want this? First of all, so we need a starting place, right? So we are going to construct this result linked list, so we need somewhere to start, right? So for that I'll just have prev as my starting point, right? So what I'm going to do is I'll have prev and I'll store this prev in a result list node, result equal to prev. Now, some of you guys can ask me, why do I need to store this prev again in another variable? Hold that thought for a second. I'll explain why we need to, put this in a another variable. At the end, it will make sense. All right. So let's come back to our original condition. So we are checking if a dot val is less than b dot val. If it is true, then what we're gonna do is we'll mark res dot next equals to a, right? So res is also a list node, so it will have this next pointer, and we are pointing to A because we know that A has to come first, right? So now we are done with A. So I mean we are done with this node. So I don't need to worry about this guy anymore. So what I'll do, I'll move this pointer from here to here. Now my A should point to 5. So how do I do that? If I want to, point my pointer A to 5, how do I do that? It's very simple. You just need to do A equals to A dot next. That is all you need to do, right? Simple. So now what? So now what? So we already assigned our result to the first node, which is A. So initially we checked 1 is less than 2. Yes, it was true. So we assigned our results next value to A. So since the first node is already done, now we have to move to the next node, right? So what we do res equals to res dot next. Simple, right? So let me reiterate that one more time. So initially we were in the head of these two linked lists. First we checked if a dot val is less than b dot val. So here a dot val is less than b dot val, which is true. So what I am doing, I am pointing my results next node to a because this guy should be the first. So since I am done with this guy, now I need to move to the next guy in the first linked list. So that's why I do a equal to a dot next. And even in result, I am done with the first guy. So I need to go to the next node. So I do result equal to result dot next. Simple. So this is our first condition. If not, let's say if a dot val is not equal to b dot val, uh, let's say b dot val is greater than a dot val or a dot val is equal to b dot val, anything, any condition that does not satisfy this condition will come to my else part here. So here, what are we gonna do? So here res dot next will become b. So in my first condition, result dot next is a, and now result dot next is b. Why b? Because this time b is less than a. So if b is less than a, my res dot next will become b now. Correct? Simple. So let's see. So first we jumped over here. Now a is here, and now b is here. So here again a is a greater than 2. So if block will be executed. So if at all, let's say a was 1 for example. Okay, let's say a was 1 for example. Now here a, oh wait a second, let it be 5 only. So here a dot val is not less than b dot val, right? So a is 5 and b is 2. 5 is not less than 2. So it will come to my else block here. So in the else block, what I'm going to do, res dot next equal to b. So now my result will point to 2. So first my result pointed to a, then we went to this node. Now we are checking b is less than equal to 2. If it is not, then we are pointing rest dot next to b. Simple. So we keep on iterating this process till this either the list node 1 or list node 2 becomes null. Simple. So we just going to keep iterating. During every iteration we are just going to check both these nodes. Whichever is less, we are going to assign that to res, and we just need to move forward. So in this case, you see we are done with b. Now what we will do, we'll move b to the next pointer here, right? So now we are going to check 5 and 4. So here 4 is less, so we'll assign 4 to rest, and we'll move b to next pointer here, b. Now we have 5 and 8. So we know that 5 is less than 8. So we are going to assign rest to 5, and then we move pointer a to here. And now we are going to check 7 and 8. We know that 7 is less than 8. So we will point rest to a, and then now a will move to the next pointer. So we don't have any next pointer. So 7 is the last. So a will become null after this. A will become null after this. So once this is done, we are done. So we just are left with only one node, which is 8, and we just append that 8 to our result. That's it. So this is the intuition, guys. Let's try to code this out, right? Okay, so before we get into the actual coding, first let's do some sanity check. So first we'll check if list1 equals to null. If this is null, then we have nothing to compare. So we can just straight away return list2, and if list2 is null, there is nothing to check on list1. So I can straight away return list one, right? So if either of these guys is null, we're just going to return. So if list one is null, we return list two, And if list2 is null, we return list1. And if both are null, we don't need to worry about. We're just going to return null. Right? Simple. This is some basic sanity check. And let's see the constraints. Number of nodes in the list is in the range 0 to 50. All right, no worries. So we are done with the basic sanity checks. So now let's start with the actual coding. So what we do, we create list node priv equals to new list node -1, and then we'll have a variable which is result, which we will assign to priv, right? So now we are going to iterate these two list nodes here. So how we iterate, we say if list1 is not equal to null and list2 is not equal to null. So here we are going to have our first condition. We saw the first condition here, right? If a dot val is less than or equal to b dot val. So here a is nothing but your list node 1 and b is nothing but your list node 2. So I'm going to have that condition now. So what I'll do, if list 1 dot val is less than list 2 dot val, then my result dot next will be list 1, right? So now 1 is my answer here. So I'm done with the first node. So now I have to move to the second node. So how do I move to the second node? It's pretty simple. You just do list1 equal to list1 dot next. And I'm also done with the result node. So I have to move forward. Res equal to res dot next. Simple, right? So now let's go to the else block. So if now list2 dot val is greater, or if list2 is val is equal to list.1, list1 dot val, then we'll move to the else block. So basically this condition, second condition. So in this condition, what we're going to do, we're going to put rest dot next equals to list2, because now b is greater, right? And since we are done with the list2, we're just going to move forward. List2 equal to list2 dot next, and similarly you're going to have res equals to res dot next. So this is the core logic, guys. Okay, now whenever this while loop breaks, it could be that either both these list become null, or either one became null, right? So for example, we kept on moving forward and list 2 reached null, but list 1 is not null. It could be the other way around, right? So we kept moving forward, list 1 reached null, but list 2 is not null. So we have to take care of that edge case as well, right? So what we'll do is, if my list 1 is not equal to null, I'll just do rest dot next equals to list 1. So when I do this, for example, let's say let's say we did not have this node. Okay, let's say we did not have this node, and for example, let's say we finished iterating, right? So we are 2 and we are 4 here, and finally we are done with this iteration, and let's say our a pointer was still remaining here. So we are done with this whole list, and still my a pointer is here. So in this case, I should append whatever is present to the right side of a, right? So for example, we had one more element here. Let's say that this is 8, this is 8, right? So whatever is there to the right side of a, that should be appended with your result, right? So you need not check if these guys are in sorted order or not, because these linked list, these nodes are already in sorted order, so you need not check them again if they are sorted or not, right? So these two list nodes are individually in sorted order. So once if any of your list node becomes null, you just need to append the remaining elements to your result. That's it. So in this case, if my list 1 became null, if my list 1 is not null, I just need to append whatever is not null to my result. So similarly, if my list 2 was not null, okay, then I will just need to append whatever is there in the list 2 to my result. That's it. And finally, I'm going to return my return res dot next. So now I told you why I told you like we will be assigning this priv to a result, right? So I told I'll explain this later. So this is the reason. So if you have used this priv value directly without this res, what would have happened? So you know how linked list behaves, right? So linked list behaves on the concept of pointers here. So if you see in this while loop, every time we are moving our pointers, you see res is next, and my pointer is moving to the next pointer, and even here my current pointer is moving to the next pointer. So if I have used prev directly, then my pointer would have kept moving, and I would have ended up somewhere in the middle or somewhere in the last. And if I am returning this priv directly, I will not be returning the head. If you read the problem description carefully, they are telling that I have to return the head of the merged linked list, correct? So if I am using priv directly, I will not be able to return the head because my pointer would have moved somewhere else far. So whatever I am returning will not be the head. So that is why we are going to have this helper variable which is called res, which is pointing to the head of priv, right? So now whenever I am moving forward, only res is moving forward. Now my prev is always pointing to my head, correct? My res is only moving forward. My prev is always pointing to the head. So whenever I'm returning, I will be returning prev dot next because my current prev is pointing to -1. I don't want -1, so this -1 is just like a initial value, but the actual value starts from the next value, right? So that's why I return prev dot next. So now if I run this code, yep, it worked. So let's try to submit that. All right. So yeah, this is the code, guys. So let me know what you think. We will catch up in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.